Good morning. I am so happy to see you. I am Jana and I am excited to go over how a live market went for me on Palm Street. I just call it a live market. I don't know the technical term. I just know on Palm Street you can go live to sell products, and I just kind of see it as like an online market. And I wanted to tell you about how it went and the success I had and go over all the things I sold. At the end, I'll show you some recent makes I have made and all that fun stuff. So first off, I'll tell you about how the live went. It was very last minute. It was Saturday. I woke up, we loaded my car with everything I needed for a market, drove to where the market usually is, and there was no one there. I didn't realize that they skipped this Saturday, and I was pretty stressed because you guys know that I recently had to travel to Texas for a funeral, and there's a lot of not so good life events that happened after we got back home. So we were on the down low, you know, and I just really needed this market, not only for the fun interactions, but also to help our financial situation. So I was over there super bummed, didn't know what to do. And my husband, Nathaniel, he's so supportive, so helpful. He said, all right, we'll figure this out. Let's turn this Saturday around. You were telling me about Palm Street and how it's like an online market. Why don't you give it a shot now? And I said, okay. So very last minute. Saturday, I pretty much spent going on all of my social media platforms saying, hey, I'm gonna go live on Palm Street tomorrow on Sunday. And I just tried to let everyone know what was going on. Sunday came. I went live at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it was interesting. It's very different. It's a little awkward. I was pretty nervous. It got easier the more I did it, and I had specific items I had uploaded to the app with pictures and everything, pretty much like listing items on Etsy. I only had those to sell, you know what I mean? I would hold up an item and then have that listing show on the stream and be like, here is this item, and like talk about it, and you know, it's up on the screen for people to purchase if they want. I would just rotate through. I knew that you could have like auctions and giveaways and stuff, but I was so scared and nervous that I would like screw something up. So I was just focusing on these items that I saved previously. There was a lot of people that came to support me. My view count kept ranging from 15 to 20 people, and some of them being some of my subscribers. So thank you guys, Susie, Wendy, What's Up Cupcake. So many y'all came to cheer me on, really, and it was everything I could have asked for. And there was someone called Alligator Goods who also sells on Palm Street. She was the best at really helping me kind of figure out the app. She sells on Palm Street a lot, and she really knows kind of like the ins and outs, and she was so kind to me the whole time, like telling me what I could do and kind of walking me through things. So after I finished the round of plushies that I had for sale, there was a couple people that bought things, one of them being a Minecraft bee for $12 and another one being a green spider that I crocheted not too long ago. That one sold for $18, I believe. And I think those were the only items that sold out of the like pre-registered listings after I had gotten through all of those. So that lasted around like 45 minutes of me just kind of rotating through those items, only selling 2. So then Alligator Goods was like, why don't you try showing us some other stuff and trying auctions? And I was like, oh, okay. Because like I was under the impression that you needed to have them like already uploaded to the app with their listing, all good to go. This is very much like a on the whim also. If you want to just find some random things, if someone asks you if you have a certain item, you can just grab it and say, oh, I do have this, and it's perfect for that. So I brought my totes in of all of my plushies and started holding up some things like, well, I do have these. And so people would be like, oh my gosh, yes. So then I would run an auction, which is pretty much where while you're live, you can just add an item. You put the title in, you put how much you want to start the auction for, and you can take a picture right there as you're, you know, live, just so that way you have something for reference. You can set a timer for how long you want the auction to be. It's automatically at 30 seconds, but I did up it to 40 seconds. So I would hold up a marshmallow on a stick, and say, okay, there's this, and I start an auction. I started it at $5, which was pretty low. Don't do that. If you're auctioning something, you definitely want to start it out what you would sell it for, or pretty close to what you would sell it for at an actual market. And I didn't know what I was doing, so I started that marshmallow on a stick for $5. There were bids on it, so one person would bid for like $6, another one would jump it up to $8, then someone would jump it up to $10. So I did sell a marshmallow on a stick for $12 with the auction, which was pretty fun. So I was starting to get the hang of it. Obviously, Alligator Goods was super helpful during the whole thing. I sold a mini dino for $5. I did sell a mini dino for $8. That one was auctioned. So I always started those at $5 like I would sell them at a market. And there were some people that would bid on that. I sold another mini dino and that one was $12. That one got a lot of bids because it was only one of a specific color. So a lot of people wanted that color. I sold 2 mini octos. They were both auctioned for $6. So $1 more than it would have been at a market. I did sell a mini whale that was just $5. It was not auctioned. I sold a toasted marshmallow on a stick. I believe I auctioned that one for, I think I started it at like $10 possibly, and then it jumped up to $14. I sold a little ghost plushie that was only $8. That one was not auctioned. I sold a mini Kirby. That was the only mini Kirby I had. I auctioned it for $5 and it got sold for $9. I sold a little gecko for $8, not auctioned. I sold a hanging plant for $15. It was the one that had the variegated green and purpley white leaves. I sold another plant. I've always considered it a monstera, but it's not. It was kind of different. We ended up calling it like the heart plant or something because the leaves were kind of heart-shaped. I auctioned that for $15 and it sold for $16. I sold the blue variegated jellyfish for $20, not auctioned. I sold my rainbow octopus. Oh my gosh, I love that octopus so much. That one was not auctioned, sold it for $25. I sold the pink spider. It was a light pink body with a darker pink heart on the butt. That one was not auctioned and it was sold for $15. I sold an alligator I had made a while back and it sold for $18, not auctioned. I sold a big chicken. It was the biggest chicken I've made for $28. It was auctioned. I want to say I started it at $25. I sold the rainbow unicorn sploot. Oh my gosh, one of my favorites. It was the one with the rainbow safety eyes I made. Love that one so much. That one sold for $25. It was not auctioned. And then I decided to do a giveaway. I did a giveaway poll for an acrylic jellyfish. It was the pink one. I don't know if you remember. I've had it for a while. With the giveaway, you do have an option for it to be completely free. But I was told by Alligator Goods, she said it can be a real pain in the butt if you don't have them pay for shipping, and you can be out a lot of money depending on where you would need to ship it to. So she suggested just have them pay shipping. That's it. So that's what I did. And someone won the giveaway for the acrylic jellyfish. Actually, that one was just delivered today, which I was super happy about. And that was everything that sold in a span of 2 hours. I want to say technically it was probably like an hour of legit selling on there because for the first almost hour, I wasn't really being as interactive as I could have been with auctions and whatnot. I felt like I only had the specific listings I could do, but once I actually started going through a lot more of my plushies and doing auctions, that was the ticket right there. So with all of that, it comes to a total of $285. That's pretty good for the first time of me selling. Now technically, so that's without shipping. That's base item price. With the shipping, the total cost and shipping It says $86. That one is just kind of like a set price at first. Obviously, that will kind of change depending on how much the actual shipping price will cost. So I could gain some money back or lose some money. It really just depends. Although I think for the most part, I'll be gaining a little bit of money back because I kept mine still low. I think it was $8 and then +2 for every other item that is added on. I was just leaving it at the default because I wasn't sure how it was gonna go. But anyway, so $86 with the shipping. So that brought it to a total of $371. And I did get $30 in tips. Yes, that is a thing. I did not know that. You can just tip the person. And I got $30 in tips, which brought it to $401. So here comes the fees. Palmstreet charges 6.9% in fees. It can be lower. The more people you have on the platform that follow you, the better, because when you schedule a live, people can go and click a little bell icon so they can get notified when you're going live and just kind of bookmark is what it's called. They'll bookmark your live event that is coming up. And the more bookmarks you get, the lower the percentage they'll take, which is cool. But since that was just my first time, I didn't have a whole lot of bookmarks. So I got the base percentage, which is 6.9%. So they took $25.57. And then there's a third-party payment processing fee. That one was $23.53, which brought it to $351.90. And that is including the shipping still, which is bound to change. So I am definitely happy with how it went. Absolutely ecstatic for my first live stream on Palmstreet. It would have been a day of nothing. I didn't have a market that day like I thought I did. And if I did nothing, I would have got nothing. And I got something. And the way it works is when you're first starting out selling on Palmstreet, you will be able to receive those earnings once your items have been delivered. After you become a trusted seller on Palmstreet, then you can get those earnings once they are marked as in transit. I absolutely plan on selling on Palmstreet a lot more in the future. To be honest, it might be more of a thing than my regular markets. Yes, I'll still do in-person markets. Like I do still have a Labor Day festival coming up in 2 weeks, which I'm excited for. It's just nice having Palmstreet so you don't have to lug everything in a car, travel to where you need to go, put the work into setting it all up and all that stuff. I kind of like to see it as the fees they take on these live streams are akin to your payments for a market for your spot, you know? Because there's times where you spend $100 for a spot at a market and you have no idea if it'll be a good turnout. And it would be so terrible to spend $100 for a spot at an event for you to only make 100. You just gotta look at it kind of like that, and the fact that they have options for you to get even lower selling fees, it's pretty exciting. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I just was super excited to tell you about how this went, and you know, I just always talk about how my markets go, and I like to see this as a market, just an online version. Would I recommend selling on Palmstreet? Yes, but it is already getting a bit saturated, if I'm being honest. It started out as a plant selling app for people to sell different plants and even live animals, lizards, I believe, which I don't really know much about. But there are other crocheters on there. I know LA Crochet was the main to start, you know, selling her crochet stuff on there, but I've seen quite a few other crocheters as well. So if you do have something other than crochet that you can offer, I would say do that. I do have like custom laser engraved wooden and metal keychains. I was a bit nervous to offer those on my stream, although I feel like I really should have, because that's something I can offer for crochet lovers. Like a lot of people that were in my stream were crocheters themselves. Just being able to kind of have a variety, I feel would really help you out. And my next live stream, I'm definitely going to offer those for sure. Overall, I really enjoyed it and I loved interacting with everyone. I had fun music playing in the background and it was just overall a good time. If you have the Palmstreet app, make sure to give me a follow. I'll make sure to link my profile down below in case you haven't followed me yet, and you can stay up to date when I go live next and we can just hang out together. It's very relaxed. It's nothing super crazy. It's also very nice to just kind of use it as a way to just hang out, you know what I mean? And just talk to you guys. That was really fun, just being able to talk to everyone. But anyways, now that I have how the live stream went, I suppose I can show you a couple things I've crocheted, which isn't a lot. I just kind of really wanted to show you a little something I tried and get your opinion on. So y'all know how much I love the spiders. I absolutely adore this spider pattern. I'll link it in the description below. And I was thinking it would be nice to have a smaller version, possibly, that is more affordable and maybe would take less time. So I freehanded a little spider. I think it came out really well. This is a first try, so there might be things I could change. I don't know what I would change or if I will change anything, but comparing the size, you can see the size there. It's a good amount smaller than the big one. Although I was thinking about possibly making this a free tutorial on my YouTube. I can't decide though. It is no-sew. The only thing that takes a while is the legs. You make all the legs separately and crochet them in as you go. It is adorable. It is pretty cute. I should probably time myself with the next one I make to really gauge how long it takes, so that way I can justify what I would price this at, because with its size, this is a mini dino that I sell for $5 at my markets. And here is the spider. It's pretty close in size. And if I were to sell this, I'd probably have to sell it at $5. But this guy takes me super quick. This one, I want to say he takes me around 20 minutes. I don't know about this one, just because you have to make all these separate little legs, you know, so I'll have to time myself and figure it out. But I just wanted to see what y'all think of this little spider, and if y'all would like a free tutorial, I could probably do that for you. And since spooky season is upon us, a lot of people are already getting ready for spooky season, so I felt it was a good time to give it a shot. But yeah, that's another thing I crocheted this past week. This was one of the mini octos to sell on the live stream. They really liked this color, so I made another one in that color. And then I made 2 green dinos because people were fighting over the green dinos. I started on a toasted marshmallow, but I ran out of white, which made me sad. I have an order coming of some yarn to finish up this mallow and make a lot more, because the toasted marshmallows are pretty popular. So one of the buyers from my live stream was my mother. She is the best, my biggest supporter. Mom, thank you so much. And I decided to give her a couple things for fun because, I mean, obviously I see her pretty much all the time, every week. If she doesn't want them, she doesn't need to have them. But she has a cat named Jack, and he is the fattest cat I've ever seen in person. He is a big boy, but what's funny is he's not like a blubby, like jiggly fat. He's a thick boy, like there's muscle there too. So I decided to have some fun with the laser engraver I have. You can actually cut wood with it. So I cut out a heart shape and cut out a hole to make it like a little keychain. And then on one side, I put a bunch of different fat cats. Look at that. You see that? Look at all of the poses of this big old cat. I had so much fun. I just created that in Canva. I have a lot of fun with Canva. And so I sent that. Mom, if you haven't opened your package yet, I spoiled this for you. This is one of the things in there. But I just thought that was so funny. And it looks exactly like the fat cat Jack that she has. So I don't know why I wanted to show you that. Yes, our house is still up for sale. We've had a couple people come to look at it. We've had some people really deliberate and like reach out to their banks. And I'm assuming when we didn't hear back, maybe they weren't approved to get the house, which is sucky. But we have some more people coming to look here soon. Hopefully we get our house sold. That would just be nice to not have that burden anymore. Selling a house is kind of stressful. It is my husband and I's 5-year anniversary this Friday, which is exciting. We don't really have anything crazy planned, just really to spend time together, go out to eat maybe, or see a movie. We really are low maintenance. We don't go out a lot. We don't drink. We don't party. We don't do anything like that. What we find as a good time is just hanging out and, just chillaxing. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else for you. Like I said, get the Palmstreet app if you haven't got it already. Go search Crochet Crafts by Jana and follow me, and I'll let you know on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or wherever when my next live will be, and you can stay up to date and be ready for the next one. I am probably going to go crochet. I do have a fun little project I'm working on. Hopefully I get to show you it soon if it comes out well. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Bye!